with which SBCs you must complete Black Friday edition, starting off with this Jules Kounde flashback. As you can see here, 3-star, 4-star, 5'11", controlled, centre back, right mid. Pretty good stats across the board. Not amazing, but not terrible. Playstyles are also very good. The roles are where they are as well. Now, the interesting thing about this SBC is he's coming in at 520,000 coins. Now, if you were to consider also on top of this as well, his gold card is a +1 and +2s on stats compared to his flashback to gold card. In terms of weak foot, yes, he does have an additional weak foot, but the play styles are the same, and he gets one additional role at wingback plus. In my opinion, this is a massive avoid. I honestly don't know what EA were thinking with this. It's almost like they just went, do you know what, guys? We're going to give you a really good deal here, and we're going to absolutely crazily overcharge you, especially if you consider this as 520k and his gold card's 19,000, so say 20,000, right? You're paying an additional 500,000 coins for a weak foot improvement and wingback plus as additional role. I just don't know what EA are thinking there, but that leads us on to our next player, which is going to be this Thunderstruck Nkunku card. 5-star, 3-star. It is a shame he's got 3-star weak foot, but he can play left mid, centre mid, cam, and striker. Being 86 rated, you could argue he's got a lot of potential for Evos. Statistically speaking, great agility, great balance, great composure, great short and long pass, good finishing shot power. Playstyles, finesse shot, dead ball, tiki-taka, first touch, technical. Now, I know he has 5, but it actually is a bonus because you can go ahead and put him in future Evos and not be restricted by that. Now, these cards do get an additional bonus, don't forget, in terms of what they offer with the promo, but he does get additional rolls on top. Now, this Nkunku card is coming in at around 85,000 coins. I don't mind the price of it. I do think that it's achievable, especially if you consider that he's there for 12 more days of recording. Easy to grind. Do I think it's a must complete? No. I think there are obviously other options out that you could go for with this Nkunku. I do like the dynamic, the card design, but we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss whether these cards are worth it or not. And I just think for 85k, it's probably a skip. If you had 4-star weak foot, could definitely see it. As I have good links, of course, for like the likes of Loftus-Cheek and every other Rafael Leao, etc. that come out. But we are going to move over to the next card, which is Geyoro here. Now, she's an interesting card because she's got the Women's Premier League, or Super League as I call it. 5'6", 3-star, 4-star, controlled, centre mid CDM, cam. Fantastic stats across the board. Now, you have to remember, the women cards in this game are just stronger than they should be, really. So they are going to have that in to ignore the strength, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. But having 90 stand tackling with that really high dribbling, good passing. Yes, the finishing and shot power isn't great, but nothing a chemstyle can't fix. But she's got incisive, pinged, tiki-taka, anticipate, relentless, and inventive. So really good play styles when it comes to midfield. You think playing her as a box-to-box midfielder is going to be absolutely mental. So if you consider she has playmaker plus at centre mid, box crasher plus at CDM, and half winger as a cam as a plus. But she is coming in at 76,000 coins. So there's another thing to consider. Is she a must complete? I personally don't think so, just because of how expensive normal gold cards are for these women. And there are like the likes of Bonmati, Putellas, etc., and Pacho as well. They're just a great example of how cheap some of these cards are that you can get. We're going to move over and stay in the same league, though. It's going to be Reiten, I believe her name was pronounced. Now, this is an interesting card. 4-star, 4-star, left-footed, 5'6" on that left-hand side. She play left wing, left mid, cam. Amazing agility and balance and composure. Fantastic finishing shot power, fantastic acceleration sprint speed. Then she has quick step, rapid, finesse shot plus, incisive, whip pass, dead ball, and relentless. Now, as a winger, this is an absolutely fantastic card. In terms of role, she's got inside forward plus at left mid, winger plus at left mid, playmaker plus at cam, and winger plus as left wing, and then inside forward plus as left wing as well. Now, the interesting thing about this is she is 120,000 coins with a much higher like to dislike ratio than most of the cards that we showed so far. And I have to agree. I feel like this is a card you kind of have to get done. Yes, she won't have Evo potential for a while, but there's something about these type of cards in EA at the moment, or FC in general, that are just crazy. 10 days to get it done as recording. In terms of what her requirements are, an 84, an 85 team of the week, 86 team of the week, and 86. Relatively easy. Plus, if you consider the packs you get back, get a couple team of the weeks back in these, and you've got like 30k back, for example. Or 20k or whatever. So again, really nice. I do like the card. I do feel like this is the first one on the list that is a must complete. We are going to move over to, and you probably guessed it already, it is going to be Pacho here. And Pacho is an interesting card because, again, 87 rated. He has got Bruiser Plus, 2-star, 3-star, 6'2", lengthy, centre back. Great acceleration, sprint speed, fantastic defending and physical stats. Even, you could argue, pretty good composure and agility balance for some defenders. Most of them don't have great ones. He does have good play styles when it comes to defending, Bruiser Plus, ping pass, and he does have great rolls. Now, my only concern with this is you need to have an 85 leaguer, an 86 team of the week, 86, 86, and an 87. So again, not crazy expensive, and you can see he's coming in at 222,000 coins. Now, my only argument would be for this Pacho, and we're going to do the same thing we did with Kound, is we compare him to his gold card. You'll see here his gold card. Yes, the updated version does have the same weak foot skill moves. Yes, the updated version does have better rolls. And in terms of what the other card has, the base has Bruiser, Jockey, Block, Anticipate. So you get Ping, Pass, and Acrobat as the additional playstyles. So remember that when you are doing these cards. Some of these playstyles, just because they have more, doesn't make them great. Ping, Pass, I don't mind, but Acrobatic, do you really need that on a centre back? In terms of statistics, again, it's only +2s and 1s apart from passing, which is +4. 5,500 coins or 223,000 coins. That is the $1 million question. I personally think this is probably an avoid. I don't think it's worth doing. For 222,000 coins, you can see there, I just don't think you should be doing that card, especially how long's left on the card, actually. We've got 10 days to get him done as well. And just so you can see that, 10 days as a recording. I personally would just avoid that at this point. There's no point rushing to get that done. The defenders have been a little bit lackluster, and we are going to stay on that theme. We're going to go to Tagliafico, 43,000 coins. Look at his card here. He has got himself 3-star, 3-star, which is a little bit meh. But left back, left mid. Good statistics again. Easily evoed as well. No playstyle plus. He has got Jockey, Intercept, Slide Tackle, Whipped, and of course Relentless. Okay playstyles. The rolls aren't fantastic either, but he has got potential. This is the thing about this potential. And you could argue at 42,000 coins, you're not really making much of a risk there in terms of future evos. 85 League On, 83 Argentinian, 83 Team of the Week, couple packs back as well. I don't know if this is a must complete. I do think it's on the list of players that you should just consider doing because of just how cheap he is. And if you've got fodder sitting there, why not just get those extra tradable packs back and just see if you can get anything lucky out of those. If not, you've got an 86 rated left back that is ready to be evoed. Now that is going to leave us with basically our pick, which we've got 2 of these today. The 1 of 2 base hero pick, which is of course between Di Natale and of course Hazard. Now this is coming in at 517,000 coins. I like both these cards. I did a video on which one you should choose. I think Hazard. But if you're looking at this now to potentially complete 16 days at 500k, could be a little bit difficult, especially if we're going to consider the other players. Now I played against both of them. I've used both of them. They're both fantastic. If I were to choose one out of the other, it's so close. Personally prefer Hazard. I think Di Natale is fantastic, but everybody's got Finesse Shot Plus now. Di Natale is an absolute machine up front, though. I will admit, he doesn't really miss. Hazard I just find really silky in a dribble, and he can get space open when you need him to. And he can also finesse. So it's one of those. I'm going to cover this briefly because it has been out for a little while, and I just think at this point you should probably avoid it. And that's going to leave us with the last player before we go to icons, which is obviously Viktor Gykeres. Now, Gykeres is an interesting one because at the time of release, I think he was like almost 400k. Now he's about 274. A really high dislike to like ratio there. And I'm going to stay away from Arsenal bias here for a minute and just talk about this card, right? 5-star weak foot, 3-star skills. Lengthy with rapid plus. Can only play striker. 89 finishing, 89 shot power, fantastic. 87 composure, fantastic. Really good agility and balance for his height. Acceleration, sprint speed, also in a good place. Now, in terms of playstyles, finesse shot, low driven, with press proven, let alone having quick step and rapid, are fantastic. Now, I played against this card a lot. I do find him very one-dimensional. You also would have noticed I haven't completed it either. There are a few cards I will complete at the end of this. This is probably not one of them. I like Gykeres, don't get me wrong. I think if I had enough fodder at the day it came out and I wanted to do it, I would have done it. But my problem is, again, we're looking at statistics here. In terms of stats only, we've got ourselves +1, +2s. But this one does have a 5-star weak foot, whereas gold doesn't. And then playstyles, the only additional playstyle we're getting is instead of Forcer Plus, we get Rapid Plus, which he doesn't have Rapid at all. So that is a big improvement in my opinion. But it's the same question. 9,000 coins or 275,000 coins? Yes, he does get better rolls. Yes, he does have a better playstyle plus overall. Yes, he does have a 5-star weak foot. But for the price that he's coming in at, do you guys think that's worth it for this Gykeres? I'm not entirely convinced, if I'm being honest. And that's me taking away the Arsenal bias for a minute and just being like, you know what? don't think you should do that. Now, that's going to leave us with the last couple cards here, which, of course, are going to be these icons. Now, they're in a different tab now. I'm going to start off with Fernando Torres. Now, I've heard really good things about this Fernando Torres. 4-star, 4-star. Of course, 6'1", controlled striker. Really good acceleration and sprint speed. Great agility and balance. Great composure. Great finishing at 93. Good shot power. Now, again, he does get a boost. You see that he gets a base play style or 2 of them, and then rolls ++ in all positions. It's the same for all these Thunderstrucks. They get the same sort of format, and they should tick all those boxes off, right? Now, he's got 8, so that would give him 10 play styles. Quick step, rapid, pinged, finesse, chip shot, precision header, game changer, and low driven plus. We already know how broken that is. The rolls, he's already got ++ and 2 rolls, so will you really notice the additional rolls? I don't know. Now, the counter argument is, and of course he gets icon chemistry as well, is he is coming in at 500, basically 600,000 coins. Now, Torres is there for 17 days. The same argument with the base hero pick between Hazard and Di Natale. You go for one of them two or him. There's no way you can get all 3 done at this time, especially with how much it is to grind. It is a thing to really consider. I think as much as Fernando Torres is fantastic, and I understand if you do him, I think you should do him if you're a big fan of him, Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, Chelsea, etc. But if you're not, I would personally avoid this card. And I'm going to leave us over to Ronald Koeman here. Now, Koeman's an interesting one because I think people are asleep on this card a little bit. It is a shame he's got 3-star, 3-star, but again, centre-back or CDM can't really go wrong. Across the board, fantastic statistics. Yes, the agility and balance is the elephant in the room, but you can put a chemstyle on that and boost that up. It's the same thing as anybody else. He gets the boost on the players if they complete the objectives. And now he has jockey, intercept, slide tackle, bruiser, long ball, power shot, and dead ball. Now, if the 2 playstyles he gets are, for example, at least block or anticipate, makes him into a much better centre-back and CDM. If he doesn't, and they give him something like press proven and first touch, yes, it isn't bad, but it doesn't help him in the defensive roles. Now, the roles overall, you can see here, deep line playmaker ++ at CDM, fantastic. Centre-back roles ++. Now, again, he'll get ++s in all roles if he completes the club's objectives or the club complete the objectives. I don't know about this card because of how many centre-backs we've had. And again, looking at him, he's coming in at 400,000 coins. I understand icon chemistry. He's Dutch. 19 days to get that done. I just think this is a skip, and that's going to leave us with our last one, which, of course, is the base icon Matchday pick, which is coming in at 600,000 coins between Cafu and Carlos Alberto. Now, both of these are great choices. For me, personally, Carlos Alberto is the card to go for. And if you were to compare this pick in general compared to the Pacho, the Kound SBC, you can get both of these for the same price as the pick. But we all know that Cafu and Carlos Alberto are just way better than those 2 players combined. Carlos Alberto is a crazy card, so you play centre-back and right-back, anticipate plus. Fantastic card overall. I've played against him a lot this weekend league already, so it does feel like people are already doing that with him. 600k is expensive, do not get me wrong, but 2 weeks to get it done, there's plenty of time. I honestly think if you're going to decide out of all of them, and if I wanted to recap very quickly, I think the cards to avoid immediately is Pacho, no. Gykeres, no. Fernando Torres, if you're one of those things I mentioned. Alberto is a must-do if you can get him done. Ronald Koeman, no. Kound, no. Tagliafico is a maybe just because of how cheap he is. Geyoro is the same thing. I'd avoid her. Reiten is a definite. Then we have Nkunku, which is also a no, which leaves us with these 4. Let me know which ones you've done and which ones you're looking to do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hype, all that goodness, and I'll catch you in the next one.